Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to the show.
The tea you drank has a funny taste, obviously.
It's my mama's tea, and I'm like, what in the world? But thank God it's Friday. How you guys doing? How you doing, BC? What's happening? I know how you're feeling.
My body is touching from inside.
I know.
Like I haven't had a massage since January. A professional massage. Professional hand has not touched me since January. So my body is touching. Yesterday I had to call my 3 children. All of you are going to massage me this night. For 1 hour they were working on my body. I gave them their 200 naira. They were so excited. Aww. I said I can manage this one, no, but when are the spas going to open now? So that I can have my body is touching. I had to meditate this morning for peace and calm.
All me I need is a pedicure.
Yeah.
I desperately need a pedicure.
Honestly, my nail looks terrible, and I know it's just simple. It's just for me to wipe up the little pieces of color left there, and I've left the color there for over 3 months since before lockdown. Well, then I said, just buy those small ones and clean it. I've just not made that effort to do that.
How are you doing? Anything happening?
I'm just there. I'm trying
How's our classes going?
Personal development, and yes, I've launched out, so I've started doing videos, and you know, just working them through gradually. We're getting there.
Fantastic.
No hurries.
Well done.
Thank you.
How is webinar doing? Are you doing anything tomorrow?
Yes, I have one tomorrow, and I posted on Instagram this morning that when I finished reviewing my slides, I'm like, Tokwe, you undercharged for this public speaking class. Honestly, when I went through everything, and like I finished doing my slides before now going back to restudy some of the things I've learned before. Okay. And I realized that, you know, when you unconscious competence. Yeah. So I had prepared my slides following the principles without even being aware that I'm following everything. When I finished looking at it, I said, 5K for public speaking class. No, you people don't know what you're getting. It is huge value. But it is trial, and most people, they get a lot when you are the first set of students. Then later, the people now wise up. The teacher would wise up and say, I'm deserving of more, and they increase prices. So when people that come in when you've increased prices, now be wondering what's going on. But I feel very fulfilled. I feel like I feel very clearly in the right path. My purpose, you know.
It's nothing greater than that.
And the testimonies every day. I'm just hearing, Coach Kiniko, this is so
nice. Coach TMO speaks. This me.
Coach TMO and the admin. There's no admin.
Don't be telling them that one, Jerry.
But I'm just
congratulations.
Well done.
Oh, thank God. It's good stuff. I like it when I hear kind of good news. It's good for us to grow and grow together and celebrate each other. So anything, my birthday is coming here. Oh, Dan, today is Dan's birthday.
So
who's Dan again?
Dan is one of our major,
he's an investor in your...
He has invested time. He's an audience member. He comes here. Although anybody's allowed to be a member of the audience, you know, it's not cast in stone, but he comes every single Wednesday before we stop. And we have to celebrate him today. Today is his birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Dan. I asked him to send me his full name. He didn't.
Anniversaries. Yes.
I sent him a message to send me his full name so I can properly greet him, but he hasn't sent it. But the truth is that, Mr. Dan, you're you're a good member of the audience. You're somebody that you show love, care to us. And he sends messages to everybody. One of us.
We appreciate you, Dan.
We appreciate you. Happy birthday, Dan.
Happy birthday.
And also my aunt, Justice Bukola Adebiyi, Lagos today. She's 60 today.
Wow.
Happy birthday to you, Ma.
That's a big
God
one.
bless you.
Your countdown is less than 20 days to
my own birthday. I'm 40, July 6th, man. Woo, woo, woo. Yes, birthday gifts started coming in. One lady sent me 30K from the UK. I mean, I was like, from nowhere, I don't know this woman. She just sent me a message. Please send me your account. I kept saying, Ma, don't worry, it's okay. They go, no, I have to sow into your life. I'm like, yeah, sow into my life. It's a good one. Please. Enjoy. I said, thank you.
Please continue sowing. There are many blessings. There is twins. There are many things loaded in this place.
So I honestly really appreciate it. And somebody in TVC gave me a lovely, she told me not to mention her name, but she's my guy in TVC. I think that's what it tells you. She gave me a lovely gift. Beautiful, beautiful gift. I say thank you. God bless you.
So we are looking forward to your birthday. It's just honestly, that we can't have a party now,
sister,
but we'll think of something.
My sister, I don't know. I'm going to attend my auntie's 60th on Zoom today. Okay. I'll see how she set it up, and maybe I can get some inspiration from that. We'll see. You never know. But honestly, I'd like to do something a bit more fulfilling, give back, you know, something. But I can't afford to give anything to 40 people. You know,
do they have to be 40?
Yeah, I'm trying to really think of something. If anybody has any ideas, please let me know. I would like to consider a few ideas. Let's go on a break. We'll take the papers after this. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere. This is my mother's COVID-19 drink.
It's an immune booster.
You have to take it too.
It's an immune booster.
Anyway,
All of us
drinking
must
it.
boost our immune
You know,
system.
easy. Moving on, let's start with Punch. APC factions continue battle as court affirms Gaydam party chair. 4-year-old girl swept away, woman dies. Buildings collapse as 2-day rain pounds Lagos. FG plans special courts to try rape and other cases. Late 4-year students, food samples sent for testing, boyfriend arrested. WHO declares Nigeria polio-free. I thought that would be a major headline. Buhari carpets service chiefs on killings, rape, and others. Local flights can't resume June 21, says federal government. Family debunks Ajimobi's death, says daughter-in-law declares he's alive. And COVID-19 cases hit round a record 745. PTF fears rain will boost infections. Okay, let's start with the young lady, the little baby girl that died.
It happened, they didn't mention the exact place, but a few pockets of incidents of flooding happened in different areas of Lagos. This particular one was a 4-year-old girl, Azizat, who was swept away by flood. So the house was flooded and they were trying to, escape the flooding when she fell into, I think, one of the drainages without knowing, and water just took her. So, but Lasema, they are on it. They are trying to rescue her or find her. And in other places, one happened in Magodo, one happened in Yanokbaja, one happened in Agege, where houses were collapsing. But Lasema is saying that most of these houses are actually old houses, and they have to, renew. They have to look at the town planning again to see how they can renew it. And the fact that Lagos State, yes, is building drainages along Lekki, Aja, they had a problem of the roads were flooded and there was gridlock, major gridlock. Right. So we just have to be careful this period.
Okay, let's take the other
students. Faderera Oloyede died on Tuesday. She went to visit her boyfriend with her friend. So she went with her friend Adekemi. Both of them went to Ayo Maliki's house. And they visited that friend. They spent the night. The next day, they ate. She had rice, and she died after the meal. So now, our friend Adekemi and her boyfriend Ayo Malik have both been arrested. The sample of our last meal has been sent for testing to confirm what could have be the cause of death, to be sure if it's poison or not. And it's really sad. They are students of Federal University of Ekiti. Our heart goes out to the entire family. May God be with them. And we want to find the real culprits. We don't want a case of, yes.
Okay, moving on now to The Nation. APC tussle. I never asked court to declare Gaydam acting chair, says vice chair. Buhari to service chiefs, your performance not good enough. Yahoo boys arrested in Lagos and Ogun. Naira slumps to 385 to the dollar. Ajimobi is alive, says daughter-in-law. 80% of infected persons not in centers. Woman sets up friend for 8-man rape gang. Okay, let's take the human interest today. Quite a bit of human interest.
I have two stories quickly. Let me do the 80% infected persons. So the federal government is urging Nigerians to be prepared that we're going to have more cases of COVID-19, saying that there's a lot of transmission that's going. We're not out of the woods yet. We don't have to relax. So coronavirus has not relaxed. And the fact that people are not taking the precautions very seriously, the PTF, I think the PTF chairman said he goes to work and he sees people wearing the mask on their chin and not taking proper care, that 80% of people who really have this virus are not in the isolation centers because of stigma. They are afraid that people will talk about them. So they are actually treating only 20%. And we've had cases of 17,735, 469 deaths already, that in 3 weeks we're going to be having more deaths. So people should take this seriously. Then quickly, the other case of a young lady. Yes, so this particular lady by name Zainab lured her friend to her boyfriend's house to visit and then left her friend there. And the friend was gang raped by 9 members, 9 gang rape syndicates. So she is a part of them. Her boyfriend is a part of them. So left her and the boy called her.
Recently?
Yes, recently. On the 12th of June, actually, called the other friends to rape this particular girl. So the case is in the police at the moment. Investigations are ongoing. They've been able to pick 5 of the members already.
Let's talk about the Naira.
No. The Igbokoda area of the Igbokoda headquarters of a larger local government, that's the Zion area, had a cult killing that took place a few weeks back, and that they horribly buried a cultist. So the police now have gone to exhume the cultist body because they found out that the people were looking for this particular cultist and they didn't know that he had been killed in the cult clash and he was horribly buried. And they are hoping that they've arrested 3 persons that have been involved in the killing, and the police spokesman is saying that their investigations are ongoing. There's also a case of the police is working within this period. They've arrested like 16 internet fraudsters, Yahoo boys, across Lagos, different areas. Some of them even broke on the news about the investigations ongoing, caught them with cars and all of that. We should applaud the police when they are doing
good job.
Good job.
All right, Daily Sun, WHO stops chloroquine trial, certifies Nigeria polio-free. Buhari gives service chiefs last warning. Death agony as flood submerges Lagos following 2-day rain. COVID-19 fatalities rate will increase, says federal government. Biafra flag to be hoisted at the UNPO meeting in US. Nwazirike to lead Igbo delegation to the event. Edo Guba, PDP shifts primary, admits Obaseki today. Okay, Buhari, our president, is speaking hot, and he's saying that in fact, he's saying their best is not good enough, according to him. Who has that story?
I have the story. So they had a meeting where the National Security Advisor, Babangana, was relaying what the president has said, saying that the president was really upset, saying that the security chiefs need to work together in order to solve our insecurity issues, that he actually campaigned on 3 major items, which is the fact that he was going to solve the problem of insecurity, overcoming economic difficulties and corruption. And he cannot do the last 2 if the problem of insecurity is not solved. So he's not going to take any more excuses from them. They need to.
Hopefully, and others are saying just fire them.
Fire them, like we've been saying this for a long time. Thank you for realizing. Yes, so the WHO has declared that and has stopped the trial of chloroquine, certifies Nigeria polio-free. So in the past 3 years, we haven't had any record of polio, and so Nigeria once again is recertified polio-free. Wow. Also, based on questionable data from the testing and the trial of chloroquine on people that have COVID, it has been stopped. There's another treatment that is being investigated. Even the US has actually even stopped the use of chloroquine.
They're saying that the hydroxychloroquine, actually, when you give them, it actually makes them more fatal, causes more fatal cases. So they've actually totally stopped the trials. Moving on now to that they've been ingesting.
For those of you that have now stored chloroquine in your house as a preventive
Let me move on to Daily Trust. No more excuses, Buhari wants service chiefs. Expect more COVID-19 deaths, says federal government. Man backs 10 years for defiling 10-year-old girl. How shoemaking transformed lives in Naraguta, Jos. And let's move on quickly now to the Nigerian Tribune. Court renews Gaidam's claim to APC chairmanship. Rapists will be hanged in Kaduna, says Governor El Rufai. June 21, not feasible date for flight resumption, NCAA. No plan to dismantle discos. COVID-19, Nigerians more at risk of infection now, says PTF. And Lagos State sweeps away 4-year-old girl. The flood in Lagos State was really bad. Serious. And we obviously need to take that seriously.
So yesterday, there was a premonition that the airports and local flights would open by June 21st. But the Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, has already mentioned it during the, disclosed this during the Director General Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, Musa Nuhu, at the briefing to the Presidential Task Force that they cannot resume in June 21st. That is not feasible, that they need to put in a lot of things in place that isn't already is not realistic right now, and that they are working with all the people involved in the sector to ensure that they can protect all the people that will be working even when the local flights open up. But that maybe end of the month they'll be able to see if we can open up for local flights within Nigeria.
So let's talk about this Kaduna State.
Yes, so the governor is really upset and saying that he's going to do whatever it takes to sign the law that every rapist should be hanged. So I think they've had pockets of rape cases in Kaduna. There was a particular one that caught their attention, which was a 2-year-old girl who was raped, and at the end of the day, that girl did not survive. She died. So though the person who perpetrated the act has been declared to be hanged, so he is saying that no matter how tired he is, he's going to ensure that he signs it, and rapists are going to die by hanging in Kaduna State.
But there's another news we skipped. The rapists are going to also have a court. There'll be a special, the Attorney General of the Federation has said that there will be a special court to try rape cases. They are working on it. It was represented by the Solicitor General of the Federal Permanent Secretary. So the statement is that there would be a special court to try rape cases, and so that they can there won't be any delay and they can deal with it immediately. So people they're talking about rape and
two quick stories before we run off. These schools are not being dismantled as people thought initially that they planned to. You know, when they got in the Siemens contract, they thought that we're going to have to replace the schools. That's not happening. What they're doing is going to strengthen them, help them, and to ensure that they are able to provide services and provide meters to every single home. And once they can do that, they can then properly build. And secondly, the APC matter is getting hotter by the day. We're not going to touch it because honestly, it's getting more and more complicated. But the only news that you need to hear is that, remember the guy that that declared himself as chairman? He had to now set himself, they had to set him aside, saying that no, it's actually Ajimobi, it's supposed to be the one that's the chairman. But the court has given him, renewed the interim order that he got as the chairman. So it's been renewed, and now he's, according to the court, he's now the new chairman. But we don't know what that means, because even the Obaseki that this whole thing is about to be accepted and absorbed into PDP today. Wow. So honestly, the matter is getting,
so that what happened in Zamfara does not happen in Edo State.
And
APC
somebody was saying, I think was saying that, I don't know who, I think it was the acting chairman, was saying that the president needs to get involved. They need to really dissolve the entire NWC, have a NEC meeting to resolve this issue. If not, it's going to get worse.
I think so too.
That's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, we'll discuss our hot topics for the day. Stay with us, don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So it's Celebrity Friday. We're talking celebrity gist. So a popular Nigerian cross-dresser, Idris Okuneye, aka Bobrisky, left many surprised after he was spotted dressed as a young man, to attend his father's birthday party. A fan questioned Bobrisky about his choice of outfit, and the cross-dresser said he chose to be underestimated because he was not the celebrant. Could it be that the fear of Nigerian parents is the beginning of wisdom? We don't know. Let's hear your thoughts on this. You can call us on 070-8066-8014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTV so we can read your tweets. Okay, so I have my own views about this because honestly, I'm not a big Bobrisky person. I hardly even know the guy. I mean, I hear of him and people talk around about him, but I've never visited his page. I know nothing. I'm not really a Bobrisky kind of person. But when I saw this story, I saw him differently. I saw him as somebody, this is my own personal view, I may not agree with you, but I suddenly now saw him as somebody responsible, somebody who was respectful, who was intoleko, like somebody he actually he was taught. He went through the right training. What he does is what he does. His job is to feed you all that. But when he's home, he's home. And I think a lot of young people need to learn a lot of lessons from that young man. Because because the truth, when we think about the brand Bobrisky, financially, celebrity-wise, he has the stature, the posture, the influence to go as he is to his father's birthday party. A lot of people will do that, to go like, I am Bobrisky. They will enter that house with Bobrisky brand. But the fact that he had that respect, for me, made me look at him differently. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but let me come to UPC.
Okay, for me, I saw respect for his father in, dressing down and being like a man, because I know that Nigerian parents or African parents, some African parents have not gotten to that space yet where they allow their children be whoever it is they want to be. We've seen, I follow, I watch this E all the time, and I see how people who are transgender and trans whatever it is are being accepted by their parents, and their family supports them. They don't have to change faces. They don't have to dress down because I'm coming to visit mommy. Mommy knows or daddy knows who I am already, and that is okay with it. But as a society, because of the fact that our parents haven't gotten there yet, the fact that our parents want to have this, they want to show to the world that this is the child that I've raised. They don't really care about how you feel, but how it makes them look. They are more concerned about how it makes them look. So Bobrisky bringing himself down not to dress like a woman to the father's house is probably just to respect the father. And it's not about him not shining on that day. It's just that it's possible that the father has said, if you want to come for my birthday, don't dress like this. It's a son I gave birth and it's a son I want to see. And he did that. That's the traditional African respect that I see. But for me, I would rather have I would want my parents to support me, whoever I am, okay? So in as much as this is the world that I paint, this is who I am now, you should be able to accept me that way. Even if I dress with my wig and all of that, I may not do the plenty stuff, but to show that you really support me, allow me just be me. That's how I would say it. So for me, it's more like hypocrisy.
So if you were Bobrisky, you go home the way you are.
It depends on the kind of parents I have and if they've accepted me. If they have accepted me boldly that, okay, this is who you are and all of that, I will go the way I am. I don't like to pretend to be what I'm not. So if I can't come freely showing the person that I am outside, the person that everybody sees outside and respects, and this is who I choose to be now, and you can't accept me, then there's no point for that relationship. That's how I see it.
Okay. Talk in your view, what do you think?
So two things at play. I see social intelligence, emotional intelligence, and understanding how to behave in different scenarios. So their addressing is appropriate for different places and how you behave in different places. Another thing I see that we haven't mentioned is that social media is so fake. This guy is doing a business. He's doing it for you. When he wants to do his own thing for his family, he switches back to what is acceptable. So when you look at his life and model because you want that, what he's having, and you're living, following his template, you are living based on what he has exposed to you. What Bobrisky does is a job. He's online, he's promoting a cause I don't agree or believe in, and he has generated a lot of following for it, but it's a job he does. When he wants to do his private things, it doesn't look, they've caught pictures of Bobrisky on a bike with not looking like a Bobrisky, looking like a man. Countless times. So when he plays, it's like when you see an actor that, when you see Jennifer and you meet Funke Akindele and you expect Funke to be a Jennifer for you, it is that you are confusing his job with who he is. Right. And many people now become Jennifer rather than understanding that Funke Akindele is smart enough to separate Jennifer from Funke Akindele, understand how to run a business, and then present a brand. What Bobrisky does is package the brand for you as a business tool. Many people run after him without understanding it's a business tool. Don't do that. Be wise. Understand that I can decide to have a persona online and then have my personal life. There's no intelligence or hypocrisy there.
Let me take this call from Stephen Ilorin. Good morning. Are you there, Stephen?
Yeah, good morning.
Morning. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, you're welcome. On a quick one, can you hear me, please?
Very clearly.
Yeah, the first thing is, let's define it. Is Bobrisky mode of business, is it a business that is acceptable to the society?
No.
That is one. Now, if it's not acceptable to the society, then why is the society supporting him? Now, look at it. Already, I will take it that the parents, they failed already. Do you understand? The parents, they failed already. How? A woman trying to act as a man is a failure. A man trying to act as a woman is a failure. Well, I know this is definitional. Some will agree, some will disagree. But let's call a spade a spade. You are a man, be a man. You are a woman, be a woman. Now, if you're doing it, causing controversies in the society, then that is a failure already. This is it. Society does not really accept him. That's why he has to dress as a man to the root. And if you want to take it, most of the social vices we are having in this country today is because we've gotten it wrong from the root. What the society wants, what the society used to be, is not what it is now. In those days, there were no cases of rape and stuff. But if you now look at it, it's rampant now. Because our parents, They treated us well when we were growing up. But modern parents, no. There are some of these foundations that were not laid down.
All right, thank you very much. I'm not sure his parents are failures. I honestly don't want to believe that.
Yeah.
I totally don't think that's a good way of looking at it.
He's an adult.
He's an adult, yes.
He can make his own choices.
He makes his own choice, and we as a people must begin to see people for what they are, respect them for their choices. We might not accept it, but I think it's time as Nigerians we stop judging others. There are a lot of things that are happening, even locally and internationally, things we don't like. But the truth is that everybody, what makes us different is that diversity. It's what brings out the uniqueness in everybody. Let me come to you, BC.
Yeah, I wanted to say that Bobrisky is not doing that as a business. Let's not get it wrong. Bobrisky decided to be a cross-dresser, and he's making money out of it. At the end of the day, he's selling cream and selling all of that. But the job, who he is now, he is now a she. That is the choice he has made. And I've seen pictures of him several times dressed as a woman with his mother. So the mother knows who he is or who she is and supports him or her, she, anyhow. But what I only saw there was the fact that probably the father hasn't accepted it and would not have it. And you know, see, he's Yoruba, right? The culture of Yorubas is shrouded in respect, in such a way that you cannot challenge your parents. So if daddy says, this is what I want, this is what you have to, even if I have to do something else outside. If it was from my place, you will accept me, or we will not have a conversation. Do you understand? Because this is who I am. So it's not business for him. He can be on a bike, not dressed as a man, as a woman, sometimes because he has to do one or two things. But this is somebody who has come out from time to tell us that this is who I am now. I am a woman. I am doing your husbands. You know, so that's the so it's not for him, it's not just business. It's who he is. And we need to get to a point where we either accept him or stay away from him.
So I'm happy that our next topic is about parents demanding or requesting their children to live a certain life just because that's their own personal beliefs. We'll come to that, but let me take this call. Ola, are you there? Good morning, Ola, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
We may have lost that call. So we're going to go on a break. Ola, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm here.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Okay, good morning, ladies.
Morning.
Morning.
A beautiful Friday to you all.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to support with Tope on this issue. I think business strategy is actually different from personal life. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying now. Because this Bobrisky issue, I think, is what he is on Instagram and every other thing. So it doesn't have to affect his personal life. But hypocrisy and dumb-headed people would actually believe, okay, this is what his life is, and they want to actually follow suit, which is not really, really palatable to the society. You know, we show shapes and say, but
Okay, sorry about that. Now, I wanted us to put this in proper perspective. Yes, we don't accept his choices as a people.
In this part of the world.
Absolutely, we don't. And nobody's going to sit here and say we accept it. But we're saying that he was able to identify he has a community. He has a tribe that follows him, and he meets their needs, and he makes money from it. Are we going to respect him for that? Because he's able to switch to be a Nigerian boy, to be a Yoruba boy.
His parents.
He knows how to switch. So is that a good thing? Or should he still just be to be himself,
I think
regardless
we
of
all agree that that ability to separate right from knowing that, okay, what I want to do will be acceptable.
I was driving somewhere because of choices we make as related to our parents.
Yeah.
So that's why we're going to go on a break. When we come back, we'll discuss we'll talk about the choices we make. If it is in line with what our parents want, is that the right thing to do? Or should we just be left alone to make our own choices? Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So my girlfriend, I'm going to put her on the spot right now. Wumi sends me a message saying, why are you talking about Bobrisky? That is what there are more important things to talk about. Well, the truth is, we will put the Bobrisky matter aside.
Okay.
Because the real focus is not on the Bobrisky or not on Bobrisky. The real focus is our relationship with our parents. And that's where I would like to spend more of our conversation on. today, a lot of people have regrets that they listen to their parents. A lot of people have regrets that they've not been confident enough. So for many of us growing up, parents tend to dictate our life to us. Sometimes they become selfish and make decisions such as what to study, who to marry, what to think, how to think. Do you think your parents should have to back off your life? Do you think your parents should participate in your growth, or do you just want them to leave you alone? What are your thoughts on this? You can call us on 070-8066-8014. You can also tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YoviTVC so you can read your tweet. So that's the real focus today, the influence of our parents. Because somebody has enough influence such that no matter what I do, no matter what I become, when I'm coming to see you, I switch. And somehow that influence, like, you know what, be all you can be. As you come to my house, be you. It's whatever you've become that I want to see. I don't want you to switch. Just be what you are, and that's what I expect. So as a person, as an adult today, do you have regrets on how our parents have taught us, or do you feel that, listen, I am a better person for it?
So there's this, the Yoruba will say that no matter how old you are, no matter how many clothes you can have more clothes than an old person, but you can't have as many rags as an old person. So the older person, and there's this saying that what an older person will sit down and see, you can stand on a whatever and you will not see it. There is wisdom that comes with age, and there is experience that's wisdom, the experience they've acquired with the age that they would lend to you. It doesn't mean that overbearing parents exist. Of course, there are many overbearing parents who are misguided in their advice.
Yes.
But in most cases, at the root of every advice from a parent is the heart to see the best for their child.
Right.
So when we have that perspective of what our parents are saying, your parents
advice
might...
or control, because I want to...
So for me, I expect that at their age, there are different age for each child, and depending on the age, there is the age for control and there's the age for advice. The challenge is that sometimes we don't understand when to switch as parents. So you see a parent that has controlled the child to the 20s, and then your child is married and you're coming to her house and you're trying to control her or control him. Your role switches over time. In the beginning, you are micromanaging your child, but a parent must understand that you deposit the knowledge in your child to guide them to make informed decisions by themselves. If you are having to make decisions for your 20-something-year-old and you didn't do a good job in your early, when you were raising them when they were younger, your goal is to groom them to the point where you stand as an advisor and you trust that they will make good decisions with what you have deposited in them as a youngster. So that for me is the way. I don't believe in controlling parents. I don't believe parents should control the life of their child. I believe that parents are custodians of human beings. A child is given to you with a full destiny, a brain, and a line. You are supposed to help reveal the things in that child and guide the child along the way. Right. At some point, you'll control, but you must move to the process where you are advising.
Yeah, so psychologists, they had to carry out research, and they were able to gather data. I think they studied about 5,000 people from those that were born from the 1940s down, and they were asking questions. And one of the things they discovered was the fact that those children or adults now who were controlled so much by their parents were unhappy in their lives. And those ones who had parents who were a bit more relaxed, who gave them a free hand to follow their passion and their dreams and all of that, were happier adults. So, and they were asking questions. So would you rather you leave your children to make their decisions, or would you enforce that everything is done the way you say it? And looking back at how they live their lives, they said, well, we had to do what we did to our children today because we didn't know better. So there's a lot of awakening that's going on now, and parents are beginning to open their eyes to see that the methods their fathers and their mothers used is not going to work in this generation. We were the ones that were told, don't marry this person, study this particular one. I studied the course my father wanted in the first place. I would have done something else. But that's the only time I obeyed him. Every other thing I disobeyed. And I'm happier for it today. So, but, you know, there's... two forms of control that parents do not understand that they exhibit over their children. The first one is behavioral control, which is the one that you can do for your children as they're growing up. You must clean up after yourself. When you eat, you must do wash the dishes. You must come back by 6 p.m. There's coffee in my hand. No, that kind of, just to guide them as young adults. Then the psychological control is the one that we are having a problem with today, where you now insist on controlling every aspect of your life. You are now the one to tell them you must read this course, even if just to boost your ego. Some parents feel that they have failed. They were not able to, probably, I wanted to become a medical doctor, and I didn't have that opportunity. So all my children will be medical doctors, not considering that they could have other talents that they want to pursue.
Okay, let me paint a picture, because I do know of a family that, or two families, a family that the father and mother were very strict. The kids didn't play. When we were playing and everything, they were not allowed to play. There was lesson teachers. Their parents forced them to just study and practically charted their entire course for them. I see them today, and they're better for it. These are people that are working at Microsoft.
So?
These are people that are working at that Google level. So I know, as much as I understand what they did, that's not the style my parents use. But we cannot act as though that when parents can be a bit more overbearing, it's always a bad thing, because that was a system that worked for them.
Yes.
Another family, maybe not. The other family I know of is a family where there was a lot of psychological control, where the father was insulting the mother, mother insulting the father, they were always at each other, there was always that, and when you see them, they have insulting words, they're constantly, they want to give you those big grammar, and you wonder, what the heck is this? But today I see them, and many of them, unfortunately today, are having issues maritally, they're having issues with relationships and all that. So sometimes it's all about
Mariah, that first
system.
family you talked about now, that you say they're very successful, how do you measure their success? What does success mean to you? It's not about working in Microsoft. It's not about having all the money. There are people who are rich and wealthy, they have the money, but they don't have peace. They are not happy.
Depressed and unhappy.
Exactly, they are not happy. So what kind of child do you want to build? Do you want a happy child? It's not about the money. Do you want a child who is fulfilled?
What you're saying is raising permissive.
So he's in Microsoft, but might not be happy.
Yes. It's not about raising permissive. I've told you there's behavioral control, which every parent must exercise on their children to give them the ability to set boundaries. So you don't eat and leave me to clear your plate. You have to take care of yourself. But there's another control that gives us adverse effects, which makes us unhappy as adults at the end of the day.
Gotcha.
You're not given the opportunity to follow your make decisions for yourself.
Let me take this call from Sweden, I believe. Thanks for calling. Are you there?
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank you. I enjoy your program so much, and
Thank you.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
I enjoy what you guys are doing, but I want to contribute on a Bobrisky matter.
It's your view. Let it count. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, you see, Africa, we have our own culture, and everything boils down to our culture. We like Africa. We are waking up to start copying every other thing we see in other places, which is causing problems in our society. For me, I think that Bobrisky know the right thing to do, and our parents, they are not a failure. They're not a failure in such a why I say that is because when our parents are telling us what to do, they are saying it for our own good. But when we start, since the advent of internet, we can see a lot of things that is going on in the internet and they're copying it. But I don't think that is the way we should go. What Bobrisky is doing is a pure business. And another thing I want to add is that a man behaving like a woman is not acceptable in our society. And we should admit that. A woman behaving like a man is not acceptable in our society. Take, for example, I don't think that the censor, the NCNC or what, that the censor
board,
what goes on air. I don't think they will allow a nude picture to be used as an advert in Nigeria or in any country in Africa. So I don't see the reason why they will allow Bobrisky people allow Bobrisky advertising what is trying to show, misleading a lot of people.
Right.
You know, so I think we should know our roots. Know when you come to Western world, you see what they are doing. They protect their culture, everything. So we should protect our culture.
All right. Point taken, sir. Thank you so much.
Before we go on a break,
go ahead.
please. I had parents that were pretty permissive. They guided, they were guiding. There were a few decisions I wished that my parents they insisted upon. I wish they were, like, I was, before I got married, I had the money to buy land. My mom advised, and she advised. But I knew if she had insisted, I would have bought it. So when she advised and felt, Tokwe, make your decision. But Tokwe decided not to make that decision. And that money, do you understand, frittered away. Sometimes the mistakes are expensive. You learn, the wise people learn from other people's experience. If God has blessed you with good parents that are wise, it's wiser for you as a child to learn from your parents' experience and listen to them than for you to make those mistakes that are expensive yourself. Now, one of the things that this psychologist, this new trend, which we will see the results in the next 30, 40 years. You know, they did that one in 1940. You will see the results in the next 30, 40 years. What they've pushed for now is permissive, let them do what they want to do. Be what you want to be. Live how you want to live. You should check the track record of people that have achieved major success. I'm not saying define success anyhow you want to define it for yourself. Success for me is being happy. If you say prosperous people, put it down. They had strict regimen. If you go into the sports field, you cannot be in the top 3 without having strict people that will sit on you, your coach or your parents sitting on you, that you rehearse every day. For music, for everything, you must have that strict regimen. When we leave that, do what you want to do, be happy, follow your soul, follow your heart. There is this, we just let it go. Sometimes you need to be disciplined and follow a strict regimen to achieve the things you desire. It's not by just following, I want to be happy. They have lived their life. 40 years after, they're not happy. They are regretting. My parents guided me wrong. You are just blaming somebody. Take responsibility for your life and move on.
Let's go on a break. I know you wanted to respond to that. When we come back, we'll take the response. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still on this matter of parental control, especially adults. You're going to respond to
Yes, so what I wanted to say was the fact that every child has his path. And sometimes parents act like they are gods of their children. I brought you into this world, I can take you out. So I'm the one that gave birth to you. I have your blueprint on how your life is supposed to be turned out, or how your life is supposed to turn out, which is wrong, 100% wrong. Because you're forgetting the fact that a child that comes to you is a full-blown spirit. Yes, a child chooses to come through this parent in order to fulfill his destiny. He's a full-blown spirit. But coming through the human form, you need to go through the stages of growth to get to that adult. There's no baby spirit. They have their path already orchestrated by God. Your only job is to pay attention to the signs that they give to you so that you can guide them well. A lot of our parents do not pay attention to those signs. They are more concerned about the image I have of myself and how the children should fit in. So I want to be a medical doctor and you must follow through. This is the family, we're the family of doctors. Everybody must be a doctor here. Michael Jackson, till he died, kept crying that he was never happy. And his father stole his childhood. He was the most successful musician ever lived. But he kept crying. Why? He was miserable. He had a low self-esteem. The reason he kept changing and reducing his nose till there was no nose anymore. Do we want that kind of success for our children? So it's about understanding that the goal that I have as my children, I'm there to guide. And even if you make mistakes, nobody's above mistakes. We all make mistakes. It's okay to make a mistake.
Let me bring in our guest because, and he's going to join the conversation, actually. He's a veteran Nollywood actor, filmmaker, producer, and director. He has produced, directed, and featured in quite a number of Nollywood movies. He was nominated for Africa Movie Academy Award for the Most Outstanding Indigenous Actor. Please welcome Muyiwa Ademola in the building.
Yo. Good to have you. Good to have you.
So you've been listening in.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yes. So you've been listening into our conversation about parental control, parental influence, and all that.
Yes, very well.
As a Yoruba man, You know, we know your type. would you let your children live their lives, or would you want to continue some sort of control, advice, or counseling for them even till adulthood?
Yeah, you see, thank you so much. To me, it's like a two-way thing, you know. While we were growing up, our own parents, those typical African parents, they're like, okay, yeah, I want you to be a medical doctor. Like, funny enough, my father wanted me to be a doctor. He's of blessed memory now. And I was forced into a science class. But while I was there, all I do is write, stories, sneak out to watch movies, to watch, stage plays, and everything that interested me as, a kid is to see anything that has to do with arts. And in my father's heart, he wanted me to be a medical doctor. So until I even finished my secondary school as a science student, thinking, okay, probably one day I'll become a medical doctor. But after my secondary school, I went to him, tried to, let him know all I have in my brain, all I see ahead of me is to become an entertainer. And it was a very big fight. It was a very big fight. Those normal thing, like you will cease to be my son, except you do what I want you to do. So it went on and on like that.
How are you doing that with your children, your own children? How is so? Not having that information about your father. So what system are you using with your own children?
Okay, well, so just like I was saying, I knew the effect that thing had on me as a kid. So I tried to be, free with my kids. Like, okay, what do you intend to do? And I tried to go with their dream, not my dream. For our parents, my own father he had a dream like, okay, he has 3 sons, and one will be a medical doctor, one will be a lawyer, another one will be an engineer or something.
That's the way we do it.
You understand? So my own children, I try to, give them that free,
Wait, well, let me just throw this in for you. Let me throw this. If one of your children comes to you and say, I want to be a cross-dresser like Bob Risky, what would you say?
Ọ̀rọ̀ pé sí jẹ́ o, ọ̀rọ̀ dínkù.
Well, sometimes you don't have to answer all those questions until they actually came up. I might not be able to give you the right answer now, But sincerely speaking, I try to, because when you want to do something and you try to stop them, either you like it or not, they might still achieve doing that.
Yes, sir.
You understand? The only thing I can do as a father, as a parent, is to guide them. Sometimes the parents are able to know the end point of most of those journeys. They might not know. You understand? And we are there to guide them as a parent. Okay, the end result of this might be this. And probably sometimes we might be able to change, the orientation.
Okay.
Or,
All right.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you a question. We've said it on the show countless times, and I think that we might need to keep reiterating it, that our first assignment as parents is to observe our children. But I know that many people have gone through what you went through, where their parents insisted on a particular line of life and that they did not agree with it, and they had an exchange relationship. How did you mend fences with your father? And how would you advise someone who is in that space where I'm not talking to my parents, they did not let me live my life, I'm going to do, how would you advise them to build that relationship back?
Well, thank you so much. Like I said, my relationship with my father based on the fact that he wanted me to be a medical doctor was, was something not so pleasant until, people intervened and all that. So, and thank God, he finally accepted what I wanted to do, and he was very happy. He fulfilled my until his death. And as a parent, I try to let other parents know that, well, it's such a bad thing to choose for our children. The best thing is to allow them do or choose whatever they want to do. And as a parent, I would just tell people to let the kids road where they want to road. And like you said, we should just guide them.
Right. Okay, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue this conversation with our guests. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Nice. Okay, so we're going to go to your career in a moment, but I know Bisi wanted to say something concerning
I want to ask, looking back at your life and your career, would you say that you're happy and you're fulfilled?
Let's say that again, please.
Looking back at your career, how you started with all the stubbornness, you still went ahead to do what you wanted to do. Would you say you're happy now and fulfilled?
Oh, very well. I'm happy. I am happy. And I don't think I would just be happy if I'm choosing another career, because this is what gives me happiness. Like I worked till 5, 6 a.m. today, I was still on set till around 5 a.m. If you paid attention to my Instagram post, I was still doing posts, I was still posting till 5 a.m. And I woke up around 8 for this. So if it has been something that I do not enjoy, I don't think that would have happened.
Right.
I'm happy. I'm
now, there was something that was said in the clip that we played that struck a chord with me. This issue of us perceiving culture as Raz. When it comes to culture, we speak Yoruba, our tradition, the values we hold. Sometimes the modern day person looks at it as outdated. We can't behave like this anymore. As a Yoruba Nollywood actor, do you think that we are, because I mentioned on the show all the time that I make my children watch only Yoruba movies and cartoon. But the Yoruba movies I've been seeing recently, I cannot even let them watch it anymore because they are so modernized. There's nothing cultural about them anymore. So I'm thinking to myself, what's the point? So that razness she mentioned, why is it that our culture seems raz today?
Thank you so much. That's a very important question, and it's been coming over and over and over. Like, we know ourselves that we are losing it. That the main reason why people watch Yoruba film is, Yoruba films is stylishly, fading off.
Yes.
And just like the usual trend things, it's just a trend. It's a trend. You still have a few productions, but like, I'm sorry, if you still watch my own film, many times it's because the kind of society where people come up and castigate you, like, okay, you go act English film and you speak English in your films too, you blah 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 like that. So people try to be like, okay, I can do it too. We can infuse English language, we can do this and that. But I keep telling people, like I keep telling my colleagues, if you want to shoot an English film, go do one. If you want to go on the cultural level of that Yoruba film, shoot the Yoruba film. Like my own kids too, I encourage them to watch Yoruba films because they speak too much English. And there's an adage in Yoruba that says, "Ọmọ tó bá sọ ilé nù, ó ti sọ àpò ìyàkọ́." When you lose that tradition, when you lose that culture, you are in for a doom. Fine. So many things are happening, so many things are eroding the culture away.
Right.
But it's so sad.
Right.
And it is just, it is not within my power. Like, I can only control my own film.
Right.
I can only control the film I direct.
Right.
Like, if you pay attention to the film I'm directing presently, I'm on a location right now. It is 100% Yoruba.
Okay.
It is 100% Yoruba. It has not taken away the fact that the actors, in fact, the producer of the film is a Nigerian-born Briton. So it's not like, okay, can't they speak English?
Okay.
But that thing is eating so much.
Right.
And culturally, especially in Yoruba, we really do not appreciate what we have all the time.
Okay.
We like to form like, okay, the last thing is to speak Yoruba. But now I want to belong. I want to be seen like I am, in vogue. I want to do what people are doing.
Right.
And it's seriously killing the industry.
Right.
I've gotten so many scholars that keep telling me we do not watch Yoruba films anymore.
Wow. Okay,
but
so
I can assure you that the association is doing so many things. We're talking to one another like, okay, if you want to shoot an English film, let's do it. If you want to shoot Yoruba films, let's
do it.
Go ahead and give people those cultural things.
Right.
Films that make people learn and all that.
Okay. Yes. So I like the idea of going back to the Ijile and like digging out our culture, doing epic movies that our children can watch, not something gory or bloody and all of that. I wanted to ask you about something. There's this classification of movies, their use of language. There's what Yoruba call ase, and it is full and rich in our Yoruba movies that I feel we spend so much time parabolating and not making cogent points. You have a 1 hour or 90 minutes to deliver a movie, deliver points. How do you believe we should, how would you ask your colleagues to address this? And what are you doing to ensure that when you're putting a movie out, you're putting a movie that if you see 10 years time, you're proud of it? Not a movie that when you see it, you'll be like, let me just fast forward all these parts.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Like I said the other time, there are actors, there are producers, there are writers, there are films, there are films. There are TV stations, there are TV stations. I think NBC cannot tell you, stipulate how beautiful a program, how beautiful programs will come from a station. Do you understand? Or how beautifully programs that comes from a TV station will be structured. Okay? But they can give you those guidelines like, okay, this is how to operate. It is so difficult to control what people do in films because it is a free entity. Either you are creative, you are not. You can come around. The people to do the job is the audience. The people to let some know that, okay, you are not doing something nice is the audience. We try. I talk to colleagues. You understand? Like, okay, like you said, we should do films because films should outlive those people that produce them. Like Ogunde is no more now. We still have Ogunde films. We still have Baba Salah films. And, same thing to producers all over the country, all over the world, rather. It is because we are having less creative people in the industry.
Right.
The industry is just for people to come in.
Exactly.
So many people come into the industry for so many reasons.
Yeah.
So many people some just want to be famous.
Right.
Not because of creativity. And no one can stop them because the industry allowed that free entity. So, and I cannot. I do not have the power.
Right.
The association do not have the power to say,
insist on what should be done.
a good film.
Gotcha. All right.
Do you understand?
Let me,
we have the Censor Board classify films.
Because of time, let us
Censor Board can classify this one. You've got so much vulgar languages. Okay, this is where you stay. Right. You understand?
Right.
But when you keep saying the
Somebody's not
same
even
thing,
working,
you
sir.
keep going on and on, saying things. Sometimes
Right.
you watch a whole film for 2 hours and you begin to
Right.
ask questions.
Because of time, let me throw in a few more questions for you.
What have I watched?
Because of time, let me throw in a few questions for you.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, we've had a lot of vices right now. We've been talking about issues on rape. We're talking about cultism. You know, we have a lot of issues that people are working together to see how they can, you know, project so that we start finding solutions for it. What are you doing as an actor who has a platform to speak against rape?
So thank you so much. You've been following my social media platforms. I've been talking my own way. And in fact, there is a post I did recently that I did. My name is Muyiwa Ademola, and I put, you know, in a quote, real men do not rape. I put MRDR, you know. So, and I've been trying to do that. Like, okay, my name is Muyiwa Ademola, and I put there, real men do not rape.
That's fantastic.
And I've
well
been
done.
doing a whole lot of posts.
Okay.
Yes, you know.
Fantastic.
And I think I've seen like 2, 3, 4 people, you know, copying that. Right. Some people reposted from my page, and some too. They came out to say, okay, my name is blah, blah, blah. Right. Real men do not rape. And
fantastic, fantastic.
It's like a hashtag that I would love to go around.
Yeah,
so
we'll try to send that around too, so that people can join into that hashtag. But let me just throw in a few things very quickly. Yeah, go ahead.
You know, because if I put my name is Muyiwa Ademola and real men do not rape, that means if I've raped somebody or if I've attempted to do that to somebody, the person will come out immediately and say no.
Exactly.
Take that
so you know for a fact that Muyiwa Ademola has not
accusation coming anyway.
Okay, all right. But
you know, so I challenge people. I challenge men out there.
If you know that you have not raped, put it.
So let's put it.
Yeah.
If you know you've not done it, put it there. Yes. So let's that trend.
Okay, we'll try to push it out for you, sir. Let me just ask this one very quickly. Many of your colleagues are going into politics. Number one, do you plan to do the same? And secondly, what are you working on right now that you would like to share with us?
Well, about politics, you know, so sometimes you don't even know what will happen. I don't know. I do not know. Right? I don't know.
So there's a possibility.
It might not happen because it might eventually happen. Never say never. And I will not say it will happen because it might not happen. Okay? Mm-hmm. So it's just something that is just open for now. Mm. I can't really say. But, you know, sometimes the situation of the country, you don't know. You might decide to go in and contribute your own quota, you know.
What are you working on?
Politics things going in Nigeria. You know,
we have to wrap up.
What I'm working on.
Yes, very quickly in 10 seconds.
Yes, I have Barada. Barada was at the cinemas like a few months ago, and you know, Barada is still around. And you have to watch Barada.
And see cinema.
That, you know,
where can we watch it?
We can't go to the cinema. How do we watch it?
It will come to different platforms. Just tell people just to stay tuned onto my social media platforms, and you will get everything.
That's
You're going to watch Barada globally.
That's fantastic. Okay.
And you see that we still have that touch of that cultural thing.
We're happy about that.
To see in our film.
Thank you very much for joining us, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure having us. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did. So once again, in a bid to protect ourselves from coronavirus, please follow the guidelines. This thing is here. This thing is still here. Oh.
That's why she's drinking.
I'm not even saying it. Yeah, I'm not even saying it. I'm not speaking English again. Please be washing your hands. Do sanitizer. Social distance. Stay in your house. If you don't have to go to the market, don't go to the market. Well, please just take care of yourself. Please.
How we go out now?
Say it for your language. You still stay here. Say it for your language.
Every other thing, you know what to do.
Wonderful weekend. See you Monday. Bye.